Hello, my beautiful Divine Mystic Hearts Collective. How are you? I hope you're doing really well. All right, so it's love reading time, and I've just received the Lover's Oracle today. This is a twin flame deck that I'll be using today, and I think this will be just a really beautiful reading today. This will be very much focused on you, really just using this deck to really tap into your energy, tap into the connection that you're currently in, whether that be in separation or not. And to really just tap into that, just to see the journey that you've been on as well, and just to see really just what comes through from your spirit team is what we'll be tapping into today. So it is a really beautiful deck, as you can probably see here, really beautifully illustrated as well. So I'm looking very much looking forward to tapping into this with you. Right, so let's get into it. So what does this beautiful Divine Collective need to know? Have to bear with me as well. This is, I've got quite large hands, and this is quite a large deck. So, and it's also shaped a little bit differently as well. So bear with me here. All right, so what does this beautiful collective need to know? All right, so we've got the first card that's just come out. Let's have a look at this. So as you can see here, just this beautiful artwork that we've got. And we've got the two lovers here intertwined by a snake is what we've got. So let's just see the message that's come through. So it says, power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. So I'm getting the understanding here from this card that this was a connection between you and the person on your mind. This was a connection that has really allowed you to step into your power. I think that probably before you met this person, you were probably pretty broken when you first met this person, which is very typical of the twin flame journey or the divine journey. And I think that this is something that you've really had to step into. I think that you probably were a person that didn't know that they could say no. I think that was probably something that you struggled with. But then that all comes down to learning who you are, down to personal growth. It comes down to then dealing with your shadow. I think that maybe this person also made you feel a little bit powerless when you were with them. I think that this person is a fairly strong person when you were together, and I think that you probably felt a little bit inadequate when you were with this person. I'm getting that feeling. So I'm getting the feeling that you're divine masculine. And just a side note too, we will be referring to divine masculine and feminine within this reading. So typically divine masculine and feminine is what the divine journey is made of. Those are the two energies, but it doesn't really matter which meat vessel you're in as such. So it's not necessarily gendered, but there will be a masculine and a feminine energy. Now you could identify with either. Just depends on whereabouts in your journey you are. So, but I'm getting the feeling this is the divine feminine that I'm channeling here. So, so very much, I think, going just back to this again. So I think very much when you met this person, then I don't think that you had a really good sense of who you were. As I said, I feel like you were probably pretty broken when you met this person, which is typically what happens when the two twin flames meet, is that you will be in a fairly broken state when you meet each other. And then it's this beautiful divine journey that you have to go on of healing that will actually push you into that power, actually push you into your divine feminine energy, and that pushes the masculine into his divine masculine energy. So I think that this is what's happened with you. I think that there's been a lot of reflection and a lot of healing done on your part. I have a feeling that you've been on this journey for quite a while. I think if you've actually stepped into your power, or you're starting to step into your power as a result of this connection, it means you've probably been on this journey for quite a while with this person. This person, I'm getting the feeling, sort of comes in and out of your life as well. It's quite sporadic between the two of you, which is to be expected. That is the divine journey that you're on. So just to digress a little bit as well, just to go over the twin flame journey, is typically twin flames will meet very serendipitously. They'll meet at a time when you're not really supposed to meet each other. So you're in the same place at the same time, but either one of you or both of you were actually never supposed to be there at that time. Let it be a function of some sort or some sort of a family gathering, at a nightclub or some sort of sporting event as well. Something where the two of you have met and neither of you are supposed to be there. You will also come from two pretty different walks of life as well. So let that be through lifestyle that's very different. Nobility can sometimes be a factor. Age gaps are a very common one with twin flames. There'll be some sort of a social, it won't be thought of as, as quote unquote normal, the two of you together. It won't, the average person would look at you and think you probably don't quite fit together. And probably your friends and family on both sides probably might have some negative views on this connection as well. But you end up, as I said, actually meeting each other at this really, at a time when the universe has said that actually it's time for both of you to start that healing journey. And these will be issues that you have been both avoiding for all of your lives. This is your shadow work that you have to start. And your shadow work, or your shadow, starts from when you're about the age of 3 or 4, and it's that childhood trauma that starts out, and then you then have to, you will actually go through your whole life typically avoiding actually dealing with this, with these scars. And so when you meet your twin flame, really it's when the universe has stepped in and said, actually enough is enough. It's time for you to face into that trauma now and actually start to heal that out, so that ultimately you can then step into your mission work. That is the point of the soul, of this type of soul connection, of the twin flame journey, is that ultimately it is a journey of self-discovery. So that it then pushes you into finding what you're supposed to be doing to give back in this world, is what it's for. So what happens though is that when the two twin flames meet each other, it's a very triggering meeting. So you will be instantly attracted to each other in every way. So you will really ignite each other. And it really is a soul that's been split into two. And when this soul meets each other again, when the two halves of this soul meet each other, it's quite explosive. But however, just in the same way as you meet each other, it's like a magnet, so it draws you two together. And just in the same way, as quickly as you come together, typically you also repel each other quite quickly as well, because what happens is the two of you just really ignite each other. It's extremely intense. You light up all of each other's trauma. You highlight everything within each other that needs to be healed out. And then very quickly you're then separated. So the divine will then come in, will actually put separation between the two of you, separate, and then you need to go on your individual healing journeys. It's a journey that you can't actually do together, because these are lessons that as a divine pairing, you can't actually provide each other the lessons that are needed. Karmic relationships are needed. So karmic relationships, karmic situations are required. And so as a divine counterpart, you can't provide those lessons for your person. It's just not possible. So that's why they're removed. And then a lot of the healing then has to happen in separation, which can be both frustrating and a blessing at the same time. So definitely as the divine feminine, you're typically given the longing veil, and you will crave this person like you've never craved anybody before. But you will be kept in separation through the divine. You'll have your longing veil on. At the same time, the masculine will have his his running boots on, so he will be the runner. So typically you'll be the chaser, he'll be the runner, and he's got his avoidant veil on. And so that is typically the avoidant veil is formed also as part of the masculine shadow. And it's something that he then has to heal out. But because of the nature of the avoidant veil, the masculine will avoid having to heal out that trauma like nothing else. Like he will avoid it until the very last one, until he possibly can avoid it no longer. Because what will happen is the universal and his spirit team will then put karmic relationship after karmic relationship and or situation in his past until eventually he just surrenders to the healing journey. And so that's why ultimately you have to do your healing separately. And then once you've both healed enough, generally once you're both on your path or you're doing your mission work, then that's when you typically will be brought back into alignment again. It is a long journey. It's not quick. These are, really big things, the big points in your life that you need to heal out. So it's really not a quick journey. This can take really some time for the two of you to get to a point where alignment is possible again. So I think, so that's the digression. So if we just bring it back to this again. So really, as I said, given what I've just said, is that you were not in your power when you met this person. And I think this person was a very powerful influence over you. I think this person was definitely you perceived to be in his power, in his element, but I don't think you were. And it's something you are now learning is this ability to say yes or no, to understand what you're worth, what you're willing to accept out of life. And this is not just from romantic relationships. This is also in your day-to-day as well. So with friends and family, say you've got a function that you've been invited to, before you met this person, before you started your journey, the word no didn't really exist. That you were always thinking of others, always putting others' needs above your own. And I think that you're now stepping into your power, though you're actually understanding your own needs and what you, and that you need to put yourself first. I'm really getting that understanding. You're no longer putting other people's needs before yours, but you're now understanding that you are, that you're a worthy person, that you deserve better, and that you deserve, to have your needs met in this life, which is actually really beautiful. So, so really that power energy. I'm also really drawn to these roses as well. So I think maybe roses is quite a significant flower to you. It could be one of your spirit symbols as well. Maybe this divine masculine, used to give you flowers just to tie you to this reading. But that's a really beautiful card, actually, the power. We can just see here as well, just with this beautiful picture, is that this is also around, so the snake is also around evolution, waking that kundalini, as they say, which is what happens when you step into the twin flame journey, is that your kundalini is awakened, awakened to the frequency of this journey, and that, is reflected then in the snake, which represents the awakening. Really, so a really beautiful card. So like I said, I feel like you've been on this journey for a little while. All right, so let's just put that one there. All right, what else have we got here? These cards are a little tricky to manage. They're so beautiful though. What else does this collective need to know? All right. So what have we got here? So we've got the We've just got the two lovers here, this beautiful blue background. So blue is very much a card around communication, or a colour, not a card, it's a colour really around communication is the blue. So let's see what this is back here. So this is a lot about embrace. So through each other, you find missing pieces. So once again, this is going back to what we were saying. So this person is, you are seeing this person as your twin flame, as your divine journey. And then through each other, through this connection, then you have been able to find those missing pieces of yourself. Like I said, I think when you met this person, you were fairly broken, and I think that you have spent a lot of time in self-reflection. You're really starting to understand relationships and what you're willing to accept. I'm getting really that card of, the Six of Pentacles energy I'm getting with this. So really understanding, relationships, what equal, give and balance means within that. And I think too that you understand that if you hadn't met this person, that if you hadn't met your divine masculine, that you would not have been able to be on this journey. I think that this journey is something that you thank the heavens for every day, even though this has been a really tough journey, as the twin flame is, having to look inwards and having to reflect, having to go on that journey through to self-discovery. I think that you have really embraced the journey as well. We're just seeing that word embrace. I think you've really embraced it. And yeah, you really are finding those missing pieces to yourself. I'm getting the feeling that your masculine has also done the same. And in fact, even when you guys were together, this might have even been something that you said to yourself, that you said to each other, is that, that you've really found your other half, your missing piece. I think, which is really, that's true. So as I said, so the twin flame is a soul that has been split into two. And look, if you're not on this journey, if you don't identify with the twin flame journey, with that soul connection, then this is probably going to sound a little bit delulu to you. So if it does sound a bit delulu to you, then this is not going to be your collective. But to those of you who are to the right collective, and that will completely make sense to you, is that this person really was like finding that missing piece. And yeah, I just have this feeling that this is something that you would have said to each other, something along those lines, like, we were meant to meet each other, or, you're my missing piece, or, it feels like we've met each other in past lifetimes, which, I'll be honest, is all actually true. So this is just to confirm, if you have been doubting that as well, I'm getting this sense that maybe a couple of you have been doubting this as well. You've been feeling like you're a little bit crazy for thinking this. I'm here to assure you that you're really not, and that if you have been chosen for this journey, then you're actually, this is a really beautiful journey. Not everybody has, a twin flame, and you're such a small part of the population that will go through this. And yes, I understand if you are feeling shall I say, crazy for being on this journey, that some days you go in and out of thinking, am I really just crazy? Like, is this all true? And I can assure you that it is all true. What you need to do is to actually go back and reflect on the journey that you have been on, and all of the healing that you've done, that this connection has actually pushed you into. And like we said before, if you hadn't met this person, then you wouldn't be where you are now. And that is really, it's a beautiful thing. And if this amount of healing has occurred, then it means you are on the twin flame journey, like you are. So I don't want you to feel crazy. I don't want you to feel like, you're completely delulu, although I know that it's hard not to. But just remember all of the good things that have come from this. It's really what I'm feeling. I'm getting this message from Spirit that you really need to just remember all of the good stuff. Really embrace the journey, which I know that you are, but I think you just need to keep embracing the journey. You're probably also questioning the distance between the two of you. So the divine will have stepped in and put distance between the two of you. I have a feeling that this distance has been some time. I think that it's been quite a while since you locked eyeballs on this person, since you've actually seen this person. And it's all for very good reason. I'm really getting the message that I need to convey to you that, and I think that deep down you know this as well, but the separation that has occurred between the two of you is really for the best. This divine masculine has needed to go through some really tricky tower moments. Has been quite a lot going on in your divine masculine's life, which I think that you have picked up on, that you're aware of, and you don't need to be part of that. You really don't need to be part of that. So you've got your own journey to be on, your own healing journey. And so really I'm getting, really when the time is right, and I know you're not going to want to hear this, I know it's very frustrating to hear, but when the time's right, you're in divine timing, then you will be brought back together again. But the timing of that is really, it's only the divine that knows. There really is only the divine that knows that. You need to trust. I'm just really getting the feeling you need to trust. I know that you're feeling crazy, but you need to trust at the moment. Right, what else is beautiful, collective? I'm just looking at this card here, just with the beautiful angel wings there. I'm just really getting told that you are being very much protected, very much guided by your angels at the moment. So really keep the faith is what I'm hearing. Right, another card. Being very particular about these cards. Oh, that's too many. I got the angel card again. It's just on top, so I feel like I actually need to take this one. Just with the angels there, just the angels there, with this beautiful heart and rainbow. You could actually be seeing a lot of rainbows at the moment, or you're about to see a double rainbow as well, I'm thinking. Or I'm hearing, I'm not thinking that, I'm actually hearing that, with the beautiful love hearts here. So, yeah, so just be watching out for rainbows. Also just signs and synchronicities from your team, just, so that they, so that you know that they're there, that they are guiding you, they are looking after you. So you could be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities. There could be spirit animals that you're seeing. So you could be seeing birds as well, just with the wings there. So it could be birds, feathers. You could have just found a really beautiful feather that could be one of your signs as well. So I'll just be looking out for those, just signs and synchronicities through from your spirit team. I also think that you are actually seeing quite a lot of those. Also, the other thing with signs and synchronicities you could be seeing is a lot of repeating numbers as well. So, all of they go up in the thousands. So it could be, so it's not just the 11s and 22s, 333s, and you're probably seeing a fair few of those. But it could be other numbers as well. You could be seeing like 1515 or, 1221, something along those lines as well. A lot of repeating numbers. But we just see the message here that we've got. So we see the past is behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. So this is really beautiful. So this is confirming what we've been talking about. So you have been on this journey for a little while. There's been a lot of healing that you've done, a lot of inner reflection, as we've said. And it's now, your spirit team is just really saying, it's, that's behind you now. you've done the work, you've done the healing. It's really time to move into that next phase of your life. So I'm actually seeing the World card at the moment. So it's really it's a time for you to be stepping into, you know, all of those new avenues that you've been working on. So I think I'm just getting the feeling that there's a lot of real positive energy around you, and I think that that's not just in you know, in love, but I think just in general. So I think around your pentacles, around your pentacle path. So with work, maybe you've just received. Why am I seeing a sum of money? I feel like you've just either received a sum of money or you've just got a promotion. Just to tie you to this reading as well, I think that something's happened with work that, you know, that's a really positive. Either that, you've just come into some money as well, is what I'm getting. So just as a side note, but they're just saying, look, a new path is available to you. Follow it with faith. So this could also be what I was just picking up. So if you have been offered something, if this has been something around a job promotion that you've just received, or some sort of a sum of money, like inheritance, something along those lines is what I'm picking up. So follow it with faith. So this is really good. It also could be a new business venture that you're about to get into as well. Is also what I'm seeing. Is it's something to do with your pentacles, I'm sure. So you're just being told here, just follow it with faith. This is really positive. There's something around you, just with your pentacles. So I think that that's a really good sign. To take this sign is to have faith, you know, embrace it, you know, have power. You know, you've come so far in this journey, and I think that you're now being granted some blessings, you know, as in honor of the journey that you've been on. You know, some of those manifestations are starting to come to pass, is what I'm feeling, which is really beautiful. When it comes to your masculine, though, I think that this is to do with your healing path once again. So just remembering, you know, how far you have come on this journey. It's really been I'm feeling quite a painful journey. It's very quite bittersweet when it comes to the twin flame journey, is that it is very painful and you end up confronting a lot in your life. But at the same time, it's also really, really beautiful, because look at all of, you know, when you can actually get, you know, further along in the journey and you sort of take a look back at the person that you were and the person that you are now, you almost don't recognize yourself. And so I think that you really have to remember that. You have to remember how far you've come. And that now, and then now that new path is available to you. So we've got the World card, you know, we've also, you know, that karmic wheel is starting to turn in your favor, is what I'm hearing. Yes, and just remember that your angels are always there with you, that your guides are always there with you every step of the way. Beautiful. So we'll keep going. Getting the feeling that we've still got a few more messages that we need to cover off here. Oh, okay. I will actually take all three of these. So let's see what we've got. I'll take these three and we'll deal with three of these. So I'll just put these over here. Just deal with this. So this is really beautiful card. So we've got, it almost looks to me like a rose, I guess, but more like a mandala, you know, really around destiny. It's a real destiny image there to me. And this almost looks like a dove in the background here, actually looking over the two lovers. So I'm really getting the sense here that your connection with this person, and you know that this connection with this person is very divinely guided and divinely protected. The two of you, that even though you are in separation, even while you're in separation, even though it is so painful, You know that this is all in divine timing. I'm getting that real sense that you understand that it's all in divine timing, that this all had to happen for a reason, and this really was your destiny. And I think that you know that. Going back to what we've already said, I think that you look at who you are now compared to who you were when you first met this person, and I actually don't think that you really recognize yourself. All right, if we just flip this over, oh, there we go. Twin flames. Well, isn't that a little bit magic? There we go, the twin flame cards. So when I was saying that you guys, that it was destiny that you were supposed to meet, that you even said this to each other, that it was destiny that you guys were supposed to meet, that you felt an instant connection, and that there was way more than just this physical connection with this person, that you really felt that it was otherworldly is the word that I'm feeling. I know I don't normally use that word, but I'm feeling that now, that word now is it was otherworldly, that it wasn't something of this world when you met this person. And that's actually pretty magic, I have to say. It's really nice to see that card come out, to be honest, because it does confirm. And also for you too, because I know that you've been feeling a little bit DELULU, a little bit like what, you come in and out of this really beautiful energy that, yes, like I know, and look at all this great healing that I've done and I'm feeling so positive. And then you go back and you feel, and you're thinking like, like, why am I even doing this? I feel crazy for being on this journey. But this card confirms that you are on the twin flame journey. This is your divine, and that it all has to happen for a reason. And this really was so that you could step into your healing journey and then ultimately then into your mission work. So I would just, as a side note, just ask you, where are you in relation to your mission work? Is this something that you're working on? Have you got an idea of what your mission work is? Because I think for some of you, you actually have. I think that this is something that has been triggered. You are actually along far enough in your journey to be triggered into thinking, what is my mission? What am I supposed to do here? A lot of us do become, that have been on this journey, that are on this journey, become readers, become healers of some sorts, of even become light workers, whether that be through, things like Reiki or, providing readings online, in person, palmistry, candle workers, things along those lines. So a lot of people do step into that, and I just would ask you, is that, have you thought about that? Do you know what you are supposed to be doing for your mission work? Do you know what that is now? And I'm just getting the sense from spirit that you should be thinking about that. So what is your mission work here? How will you be giving back to this world? Like why have you actually been put here on this planet? So you have been ignited into this journey. Not, as I've said, not everybody has a twin flame, and so you really have been selected for your very specific, very special mission work here in this lifetime. And it's something that needs to be looked at and focused on. So I've just asked you. So what something to contemplate is that, what is your journey? Sorry, not your journey. Your mission work on this journey. What should you be doing? So twin flames, a very special confirmation. Please don't feel DELULU. All right, there we go. All right, the other card I've got here as well is that I'm hoping I can actually turn this card over, because this might be a little bit cheeky, this card, if I'm honest. Given what we've got here, I'm going to tip this has got something to do with the chemistry between the two of you. I would imagine, and being twin flames, there's going to be some really amazing connection between the two of you. Really, your bodies just completely fit together when you're a twin flame, like nobody else will have ever compared, really. without getting too graphic. So let's just see here. That's exactly what I thought. So might just cover this card, this word here. So it says, honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. So just as really as a confirmation, if you are feeling a little bit DELULU, which is, to be fair, it's part of the journey. You will come and go out of that feeling until you just come into just complete surrender, and you've healed enough just to come into complete surrender of the journey. But like I said, just as a further confirmation, there will be an incredible amount of chemistry between the two of you, but it goes way beyond chemistry. You will have had chemistry with people in the past, but it won't compare to your twin flame. Like it just doesn't. And yes, it really is two puzzle pieces just fitting together. You will, which, as I said, this is really as another confirmation for you. And also just to say, so you are one eternal soul. So this is what, so this was the digression that I made earlier when talking about the twin flame journey, is it is one eternal soul that has been split into two. And like I said, if you're not on this journey, if you don't feel that you're on the twin flame journey, then that will sound crazy to you. But then this is not your collective. If this sounds really crazy to you, then I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to those that actually identify with this journey, is who I'm talking to. So, all right. So we'll just put that one there. I might just have to put this over there like that. And then what's this last card here? So once again, we've got another bird coming up. We've really got, so I think feathers and birds are really prevalent to you. The other thing as well is you could also be an air sign, or the person that you're dealing with could be an air sign as well. Also quite analytical is what I'm thinking. So air signs are typically quite analytical. You could be really a quite analytical person. Very, very, very much of the head. Your person you're dealing with could also be a very, very analytical person as well, or an S sign, either way. So Gemini, I'm getting Gemini, strong Gemini, potentially as well with air signs. Yeah, so also protection, peace as well. So and we've just got the sun in the background that I can see there. So it's really just around happiness and peace is what I get when I look at this card. So new beginning. Oh, there we go. So new beginning. So a new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. So new beginning, back to what we were saying before. So I think that you have got a lot going on around you. I think that it's really a beautiful energy. I know that you're quite sad at the moment, getting this real sad feeling around you when it comes to this connection, but you do have so much around you that I'm seeing. And like I said, work-wise, family-wise as well. Why am I getting the feeling that one of you might actually be pregnant? I'm just seeing that. I'm actually just seeing a pregnancy test, a positive pregnancy test. So whoever's watching this, a couple of you might actually have just found out that you're pregnant. Congratulations if you have. That's very exciting. But a new beginning, or either that, or you might have shared a pregnancy with this person as well, as the other thing that I'm just getting there with the new beginning. For some reason I'm seeing you, I'm just seeing all those lines. So you might have also shared a pregnancy with this person. So a new adventure awaits. Embrace it. Live your dreams passionately. Like I said, there's just a lot of positivity around you at the moment. I also think that you're trying to manifest in also a new beginning with this person as well. If it's been some time, which I think that it has, if it's been some time since you've seen this person, I think that you're feeling that it's time for a new beginning. You're trying to get that new beginning with this person. And let's be honest, if it has been some time since you've seen this person, you also don't have any confirmation of the journey that they've been on. You certainly hope that they've been on the healing journey, but you're not really sure if they've been on the healing journey either. So I'm really getting the sense that you need to just let go of any resentment that you might be holding on to, any of that past person that you were dealing with, and really embrace, the new person that that you need to believe that they're becoming. Just really surrender to that, believe that they are on the same journey, and that there will be a new beginning, ultimately between the two of you, which is what I think you're trying to bring in with this. There's just a new beginnings between the two of you. And it's also saying it's a new adventure awaits. Yeah. So, bringing broad into union, I know it's a painful wait. It really is. I see, the word wait, waiting. And I know that's what it feels like. But, the divine has it in hand. You will be brought back into union at the right time. Unfortunately, we cannot see it, the timeline. Unfortunately, we can see what we think our future is going to be with this person in the 4D. You've been shown it, you've received that download as to what that's going to be, that new beginning with this person. You know what it looks like in the 4D at least. But when it manifests itself in this 3D, that timeline, only the universe knows when that's going to be, only the divine, and you will be being protected up until that point. And I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but it is what happens in these connections. All right, so we've got new beginning there. Beautiful. Why do I feel like I just need to get one more card for here? I need to get one of this. And then I do want to actually just tap into your masculine's energy, although I might get some message cards, to be honest. Well, let's see. Let's get another one of these cards first. I need to get one more. Oh, and there it is. It's already flipped over. Just as we were saying it, trust. Just as we were saying. So over here, so we've got this beautiful, look at that beautiful picture, just of the two lovers there. And then as we flip it over, we've got trust. So transformation occurs through acceptance, which is exactly what I was just saying. So thank you, universe, because I'm just confirming what I was just saying. So trust, once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. So coming back to what I was picking up on is I think that you are feeling really quite sad at the moment about this connection. You are feeling a little bit in your head, really that swords energy that I was picking up on in your head at the moment, being quite analytical over this journey. The other thing that you can't do is you can't put average expectations onto this relationship, because this is not an average relationship. This is a divine connection, so you can't be listening to things that you're going to be seeing online. Why do I get a feeling like you'd be looking at things online as well that say, if they wanted to, they would, he's an avoidant, if they wanted to, they would. That is true for a karmic connection. For karmic connection, sure, but this is not a karmic connection. This is a divine connection, which has been specially brought about into your life so that you can heal and that you can then be put onto your mission in this world. It does not conform to what everybody's going to be saying online about connections and what you should be accepting, and if he doesn't do this, you shouldn't accept it. Just forget all of that. Trust. So you're really being told from the universe just to trust. You need to trust in the process, trust what's going on. Transformation occurs through acceptance, just to accept the journey for what it is. And I think for the most part you do. Accept this journey. But it's tough. It's hard. And to just to trust in the divine. It is really tricky. I understand, and I know I hope it doesn't irritate you too much to hear me say that, but that's what needs to happen. But it really is. You just have to trust in the journey, and just trust that you will be brought back into alignment when the time's right. Which I know is irritating. I know. but it will. And all the transformation that you've gone on. I don't know if you could just hear my dog. She just sneezed just then, just as a confirmation there. She just sneezed. So she just sneezed again. So trust. So definitely trust in the in what's happening. Trust in the process. All right, beautiful. Well, look, that was a really beautiful cards on those cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a couple of, as I said, this reading is really focused on you. So those were really beautiful cards. I'm so glad that I got those. So I think now what I'm going to do is just get some message cards through from your masculine. I think that you know what's going on. So just some message cards through from your masculine. What do we need to know? Oh, okay. We've actually got quite a bit coming out here. So let's just start here with this first one. All right. So the first one is I still don't have all the answers. So this message is coming through from, as I said, from your divine. So just as much as you're on this healing journey, so are they. Yeah. So this says to me that he's on the journey. There is a fair bit going on in his life at the moment. We haven't tapped into him in this connection. As I said, I feel like that this is more just as reassurance for you. I think that you're maybe just losing a little bit of hope today on the connection. So I think you just need to some confirmation to just keep going, keep having the faith. And so I still don't have all the answers. Well, I think that's for both of you, right? You're both on this healing journey. And let's be honest, when does anyone have all of the answers? But your masculine, he's probably mirroring you as well. He probably is coming in and out. He's probably questioning as well around this connection. If you're questioning, then he will be also questioning in his own way as well. So getting a bit tongue-tied as I say that. Maybe your masculine's getting a bit tongue-tied as he's thinking of you. Here we go. So I worry about us a lot. So as I said, I think that you're very much still on your masculine's mind, just as much as you feel that he's on this, that you're on this journey. So is he. I'm getting a little bit tongue-tied with this. As soon as I've started to tap into his energy at all, I'm getting tongue-tied. So, like I said, I think he's just feeling a little anxious about everything at all. So I worry about us a lot. He is feeling anxious. Also, 27 might be an important day or a birthday or a memory there, the 27th. Could also be maybe like a house number as well, I'm thinking. Here we go. Listen to your heart. So this is very relevant for you too, for you and for him. So with everything that's been going on, so very much to listen to your intuition. This kind of is reflecting what I was saying before, as I have a feeling you're going online, as is probably this masculine as well. Probably, reading things and seeing things about, avoidance and, and attachment styles and things like that. Listen to your intuition for this. Don't read too much into those messages that come through. I think we're all guilty of reading those messages and looking at those, those things that come through online. listen to your intuition. It's a divine connection. This is not an average run of the mill connection. This is not a karmic connection. It is a divine connection. So listen to your intuition. Listen to your heart with this. Masculine saying, I'm too afraid to talk to you. I bet he is. I bet he's too afraid to talk to you. There's a lot going on, I feel, in his life. And I think that you would have intuition about this as well. And this is one of those blockers, but also if he's too afraid, then it means he's got his avoidant veil on. He's still not standing up in his divine masculine, which means he's still on his healing journey as well. And if he's too afraid to talk, then it just means that he's got healing to do. He's got further healing on his journey. Number 5, I meant what I said. So straight away, I'm getting that this is when we spoke about what was said between the two of you, that when you guys were speaking with each other, I think this is confirming it. And you said, look, I've never met anyone like you, that you knew that the universe had crossed your paths for a reason. I've definitely got the sense that you guys said something along those lines, that you said that. It's confirming that. So he meant that. Like when he said that, he absolutely meant what he said. Also, too, straight away I got that for some of you, he actually said that he loves you as well. I'm getting that I'm also getting that coming through. Trust that, believe it. If you were told that, trust it, believe it. Then we've got, I missed you. So yeah, so this masculine, he's going through it. He's going through exactly what you're going through. You guys are mirroring each other. We've also got 88 here, number 58, 858. These numbers could be relevant to you. Birthdays, house numbers, mobile phone number I'm getting as well. Maybe there's a mobile phone number in there. My life started when I met you. I'm just going to get a couple more here. So my life started when I met you. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You both started on this healing journey together. And then I want a fresh start with you. Yes, like I said, I think you guys are mirroring each other. As divine connections do, you mirror each other. You want a fresh start, he wants a fresh start. It just depends on how far along in your healing journey you are. I'm open to compromise. There is someone else. I just want to deal with these two first, just because there is someone else card that's come out here. Possibly your divine counterpart is dealing with a third party, but the third party, and in fact, not possibly, he will be dealing with third parties of some sort. There'll be karmics in his relationship, which will have affected your relationship. Now, that could be romantic, sure, and you could have intuition about this, but also this could be just karmic relationships in general. So whether this is family, friends, working arrangements, colleagues, that sort of thing. This is a very much around the karmic card when this comes out for me. So he's dealing with it, right? It just means that there's karmic situations happening in his life right now. Like I said, we haven't actually tapped into the masculine, and so we've got yeah, nah, and then I think so. I think so, yes. So yeah, nah. So yeah, nah is around. So it's funny when you said, I'm too afraid to talk to you. I miss you, do you? But then you've got yeah, nah, and then I think so, yes. This is around him coming through to you, is what this is about. Like I said, I haven't tapped into the masculine, so I can't see really what's going on with him. I don't necessarily think, I just don't get the feeling that this reading should be tapping into him too much. I really get the feeling that this should be focused on you and just providing you with comfort and with some guidance as to what's happening. I do get though with the yeah, no, and I think so, yes, I do think that this masculine is thinking about coming through to you. Despite what you're feeling, and it may be that this is a lost cause, and that you're coming in and out of thinking, why did I ever even get put into this situation to start with. Your masculine will be mirroring you, but also it's a yeah, no, I think so, yes, like, do I go through, do I not? I'm too afraid to talk to you, but what I meant was yes. Like, you're just coming in and out, like it's yes, no, just as you are. So you are actually both reflecting each other in your own way. You're coming and going, and so is he, which is exactly what happens with um, divine counterparts. So just with that, I don't necessarily want to tap into your masculine, but I do want to get just some messages through from your team, just to see what you should do next. What should you do next? What cards? I want to get these actually. So this is just the oracle card. Oracle cards. Yes, I think these are what we need to use. Sorry, animal cards. They are oracle cards, but they're also animal cards as well. So I just want to get a few messages through from your spirit team, just to see what you should be doing. So what should you be focusing on at the moment? All right, straight away that card wants to come out. Right, we've got regeneration. Two more. Right, lovely. All right, so this is what your spirit team is telling you that you need to be focusing on at the moment. So the first one here is the lizard. So we have regeneration. So as a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt, embrace your transformation, put on your new cloak. You are a master of regeneration. So it's the lizard. So very much confirming exactly what we've said. You have gone through some real transformation, some real metamorphosis in your life, and that's what you need to keep focusing on. You need to keep looking at that. Really just keep doing, just getting a sense of just keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing a really great job. Just keep doing exactly what you're doing. Keep focusing on yourself. Just keep focusing on all that amazing healing that you've done. We've also got Keeper of Secrets. So the links. So take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowledge. You see each other's secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. So exactly as we've been saying, it's really listen to your intuition. With the links, it's really a card of intuition. This one, don't let anything deceive you. You can, see through. I'm getting a real like the moon energy with this, right? So trust your intuition to really guide you through, those hidden paths. Really guide you through. In those new situations that are popping up for you. So there's a lot of positivity around you at the moment. So just keep using your intuition to work your way through those situations is what I'm hearing. Also with this divine masculine as well. So we've then got visionary. So rise above earthly matters. Guides through life in grace. You are able to see the right path, stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. So once again, the giraffe. So the giraffe is beautiful, really gentle, soft energy, but also very tall, standing proud, standing strong, which is confirming everything we've spoken about. You've come so far in this journey, just remember that. And if this divine masculine does reach out to you, I'm just here for advice, but if this divine masculine does reach out to you, really use that Lynx energy. See through it, evaluate. Are you being honored? Is what I would say. And then the revealer of truth, the coyote. So don't take anything too seriously. Take time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. So, yes, I think we're also just being reminded here just to, just to also look at the lighter side of life as well. Not everything has to be really serious. So get out there. I'm seeing, that girl, out there having fun, getting out there, conversing more. It's really the card that I'm seeing. So yeah, let's also have a little bit of fun along the way. I feel like you've been maybe isolating yourself a little bit these days, but you've got so much positivity around you. So it's time to get out there and enjoy life a little bit. Is what I'm hearing. All right, beautiful. Well, that concludes the reading for today. I hope that has provided some guidance, some comfort to you, and I look forward very much to reading your energy again. I will say too, this is a brand new channel as well. So if you've made it this far, then I would certainly hope that that you've gotten something out of this reading if you've made it all the way to the end. So I would ask then, if you have gotten something out of this reading, to please like and to please subscribe as well. This is a new channel, and so if you can subscribe and if you can like this, being such a brand new channel, that it will help these messages get out to others that also need to hear these messages. So I would ask you, to do that as well. All right, lovely. I look forward to seeing you soon.